So I actually had a look at the list of all the hidden cards you can get from the York side of the board, and none of them really jump out at me as being interesting, aside from this one, but obviously I can't use the card until I've beaten the guys, so that kind of just, you know, ruins the purpose. So let's just head on in here. I wanted to try to get my hands on a card called Servant of Catabolism, but unfortunately the duelist that you get that from is on the other side of the story, so I've kind of missed my timing with it. It's actually Taya that I get it from, which kind of sucks because, yeah, it was the very first duel I had, so unless I just sort of sat back and got myself to major rank before switching sides, then I probably would have gone to have gotten it, but then that also would have had to require me to know about the find ability and know that Pyro Monsters received the find ability. Let me just... Up. There I go, I've gone and switched my bloody speakers off. Okay, I had to turn it down for just a little bit. Okay, so first off, speaking of hidden card, no, it's right there, right in front of his deck leader. So it'll be a bit of a thing to get that. Especially if I open up relatively bricky like I have here. I can just sort of keep that there. I'd like to keep in the mountain terrain because the meadow here obviously is going to be beneficial to him as he's got Battle Steer as his deck leader, so he runs a whole bunch of warriors and a whole bunch of beast warriors. So while I may be somewhat glad to see this forest, I'm not going to be dropping my guard at all because this also will benefit his beast warriors. I'll be able to take care of his plain old warriors without too much hassle. It's just stuff like his Battle Steers if he ever summons any others that I'm going to have to worry about. I actually wonder if this guy has a ritual card of any variety. I do know that Battle Steer is required for the hamburger recipe in this game, among two other specified monsters. I believe they're Griggle and Bioplant. But I'm not entirely sure that this benevolent king would run a ritual for a burger. I don't think burgers even existed in the 1480s. So gonna go ahead and set up like I usually do, get Behemoth on board. Sparrow sits on 3400 as soon as I summon to the board, which I can do next turn. If I can move his deck leader away from where it is there, which is not going to be the easiest thing in the world because he does run traps. But if I can get him out of the way and get a whole bunch of his cards out of the way, then I don't have to worry too much about getting completely eviscerated when I go to get the hidden card. I'm not too sure 2900 is going to be enough, especially if he uses an equipped card. But the fact that he didn't move his deck leader, despite the fact that I can easily move 2 spaces, implies to me that he's definitely got a trap. So let's find out what he's got protecting him over there. And there's one trap. That's an acid trap hole, isn't it? Yeah, that'll kill me unless I'm above 4000. Then he's got a couple of random piss weak warriors. Okay. I could send Wolf in to spring it, but then he's not going. But then he's still not going to want to move it anyway. I'll send Wolf after it anyway, just because I'd rather Wolf set it off and just get it out of the way than just lose a Vermilion Sparrow for it. Now he's in a position to put a Beast Warrior straight in front of him and then attack me directly. So this is a bit risky, but he's going to put a monster there instead, which I don't necessarily mind. Looks like he's just trying to keep me away from him here, which... and that's fine, I guess. There's the other forest card. Let's see. I will put my second Behemoth here, because it just keeps those guys away from me. And Headhuntress should not be that big of a deal to deal with here, because as soon as she goes into the forest terrain, I can kill her with Dragon Piper. That's just how piss weak she is at the moment. So this should hopefully force him over in one direction or another. I actually do like how he's moved in this direction, because then that just keeps him away from me. Now, do I want to swing into Headhuntress? No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test out Jowsy, since I put him in the deck. So we run into the beautiful Headhuntress, and then even that cutscene gets ruined. Point is, it slithers its way into the opponent's monster, and then I get to seize control of it. Now, if that's a trap that he's got protecting him, I'm about to spring it. Or in this case, I'm just going to hit him for 1600 and laugh in his general direction. So I only have to move forward one more space to get the hidden card. So I might run over that hidden defense card he's got there with Sparrow. And we do that, which... what was that? What was that? Sword of Dark Destruction. Okay, if I ran over that with my Sword Stalker, I'd have gotten a boost from that. Anyways, moving forward, we get Warrior Elimination, kills all warrior monsters on the board. So if I had that in my deck, it'd be friggin' awesome. Unfortunately, I do not. Not that I'm complaining, because giving Dragon Piper this Salamandra... well, I mean, I'm gonna see if he's got a trap there. If he's not, which is made painfully obvious right here, that's gonna be the end of the game. I think regardless of what happens here, I think it's pretty much the end of the game. Just for shits and gigs, I'm going to see if the game wants to punish me for not finishing the game right now. Because I get the feeling that it probably won't. Yeah, no, it won't. He went and did that and derped out. So in that case, I mean, I could swing... if he had... Can't talk. Fuck it. When I can't talk, I am just going to go ahead and then swing for game, so that I don't have to worry about that shit. I will have to worry about it in the next segment, because it is, assuming that this LP is going to sort of have the same sort of thing as all my other LPs and have the last segment be a long one, next segment will be the last one of the LP. Okay, so a bunch of warriors, there's a fake trap in there, I'd rather not hit that at all. Okay, Empress Judge, there's two of them in there actually, I might be able to hit it. Nope, that's just something. And Battle Steer, okay. Not too bad actually, I don't think I'm going to get much use out of any of them, but they're all pretty decent cards. I think that monster in the middle had an effect, I didn't even realize what the card was. And there he goes, freaking himself out. Uh-huh. And of course he must be all like the... My god. This guy is so friggin' just generic. So I wonder who his son actually is in this game. I don't think it was ever implied who it was. I think he was just sort of like... I don't even know. I can't even think in the absolute slightest. So, a modified version of the line that is seen in the beginning cutscene of this game. And Richard 3. That's one thing that makes the powered version better, is that it actually shows that 3 in Roman numerals to actually establish it's Richard III, not Richard 3. It's very, very stupid. But yeah, he's dead. Just like his Egyptian counterpart in Forbidden Memories. Minor spoilers there, but he brings the final boss to life and it's just like, you must obey me because pacts and shit. And he's just like, I didn't make no pact with you. Turns him into a card. determines he is too ugly to fit into his deck, and then just burns him. Just burns the card of Haishin. So there you go. So even though that cutscene quite clearly showed him being crowned king, he's not actually wearing the crown here. Guess they couldn't just split a nickel or anything like that. Because Yugi totally doesn't have the power to knock Seto over. No, not at all. But we're back to Stonehenge, and we have to deal with this schmuck. That'll happen on the next segment. I imagine I'll be doing the final boss as well, so that will round out the LP. So here would not... It's obviously not going to be the last random card of the LP, but... oh, hello. We want this page. Come on, what do we got? 331, okay. Are we still going to end up with some rotten luck here? Yeah, more or less. That's rather unfortunate. Alright. The card that we have gotten today is Megaris Light, something? I don't know. Maybe I'll be lucky enough to get something else that's actually good out of the reincarnation. It'll be the last one of the LP as well, so... EVJ... V... Evjv. Evjvid. I don't know, I feel like I'm just talking in some other language that's not even off this planet. Evjvidne. And we get this piece of shit. Yeah, unfortunately not very good. I'm not too sure if you could fuse this into anything. You could probably fuse this into like Ryukushin powered using a job change mirror, but aside from that, pretty useless. It might actually be used as reincarnation fodder if I'm going to be brutally honest. Because I actually would like something with a deck cost of about 15 to reincarnate, because there is one card that I really want to get my hands on, and I want to show that off in the next segment. So, anyhow, that'll be about it. Next time we'll take on 2 duelists for the only time in the LP, and that will do the trick. So I will see you for that.